The skin is the body's largest and heaviest organ. It consists of two layers: the epidermis, which consists of stratified squamous epithelium, and the dermis, which is the connective tissue layer. There is also the hypodermis, which is another connective tissue layer below the dermis.
Our skin functions in many ways. It resists trauma and infection, and it protects us against UV radiation and harmful chemicals. The skin also plays a role in vitamin D synthesis.
There are 5 types of cells of the epidermis. First are the stem cells, or undifferentiated cells that give rise to keratinocytes. These cells are most often found in the deepest layer of the epidermis. Second are the keratinocytes, which are the majority of the epidermal cells and synthesize keratin.
Third are melanocytes, which only occur in the stratum basale. These cells synthesize the pigment melanin, which shields DNA from ultraviolet radiation. Fourth are tactile or Merkel cells, which are located in the basale layer of the epidermis.
Fifth are the dendritic cells, which are found in the stratum spinosum and granulosum. They stand guard against toxins, microbes, and other pathogens that penetrate the skin. There are several layers that compose the epidermis. First is the dermis, which is the connective tissue layer. Next is the stratum basale, which rests on the basement membrane, and melanocytes and tactile cells that are scattered throughout. The next layer, stratum spinosum, produces more keratin filaments, which causes the cell to flatten. This layer also contains dendritic cells. Approaching the skin surface will be a thin layer of stratum granulosum and stratum lucidum. Next is the stratum corneum, which contains many desmosomes and several layers of keratinocytes. Finally, the skin surface is composed of dead cells. Tropical ulcers affect several parts of the skin. It can cause deep tissue invasion, squamous cell carcinoma, and squamous epithelioma. Tropical ulcers form when a small skin wound comes in contact with organisms which are thought to release toxins that lead to the decomposing of the skin. This condition is common in tropical climates. Jungle rot is commonly seen on lower legs and occasionally on thighs and arms. The first symptom of a tropical ulcer is the appearance of a small discolored patch. The ulcer is typically round or oval shaped with a clearly defined edge. Over the first 2 to 3 weeks, the ulcer grows, reaching its maximum size in the 6th week. To confirm a diagnosis, medical professionals take a skin swab for bacteriology, which requires sophisticated technology. There are many treatments depending on the phase of the ulcer. In the acute stages, some may use painkillers. In other cases, a week's course of oral antibiotics might be helpful. In extreme cases, however, amputation may be necessary. Tropical ulcers are most common in native laborers and in school children of the tropics and subtropics during the rainy season. Because ulcers often occur in school children and native workers of impoverished areas, many people cannot afford treatment, or the ulcer keeps them from their jobs.